Today on Rack Recordings, I show you how to mix heavy vocals. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rack Recordings. Today, I'm going to show you how to mix heavy vocals. Now, last week we did heavy guitars, bass, and the week before we did drums. So let's see where we're at right now. Okay, so it's sounding pretty good so far. Now for vocals, I will actually pull up a different session so I could print my compression directly to them. So right here I have all of the vocal stems, okay? So there's scream and there's clean. So let's take a listen here real quick and see what these sound like.
Carvings visions into rare sound, 'cause we are striving.
So basically it's just your basic screaming vocals. Let's try the cleans quick.
It's no furthermore, 'cause I've settled to cut from the circuit.
Now for all of my vocals, scream or clean, it doesn't matter. I use Joey Sturgis Tones gain reduction. Okay, so for screams, I leave it how it is and I just crank the gain all the way up. Now what that's gonna do is it's gonna distort your vocals and make the scream sound more brutal. So then I will highlight all of my scream tracks and copy it right over. Pull those down because they're gonna be quite loud. And then for my normal vocals, I'll just pull gain reduction in and leave it how it is. And like I said, pull them down because they're gonna be loud. Now you grab all of these and I like to just pull them up until they're hitting -12.
Into rare sound, 'cause we are striving.
All right, so there's that. Now what I'm gonna do is highlight all these tracks and bounce them down. All right, so I have all of my vocals now bounced down with compression on them. So now all I have to do here is get rid of all of those tracks there, go to the first one and paste them in and they should line right up. For this now, the first thing we should probably do is open up this first scream track here and set a normal volume, something we'll go off of for mainly all of our tracks. So let's see. All right, so there is your main scream. So set this other one to that as well. So those are the main screams. So they're gonna be your loudest one out of any of these. The rest of these are double tracks. So for this one is a mono center vocal. So I like to solo those and then just kind of blend it in.
'Cause we are striving! Transformation!
All right, so let's check and see how that sounds.
Carvings visions into rare sound, 'cause we are striving!
So then we'll get these ones, which are lefts and rights. So 100% left, 100% right, and bring them in as well.
Rare sound, 'cause we are striving!
All right, so now we will just copy what we did here. So left, right, and we'll set them to -18.7. So now when we listen back, main 1 and main 2 with their doubles should all sound cohesive and the same volume.
Carvings visions into rare sound, 'cause we are striving! There's not a better way to live it out upon the earth across the seas. Painting your legacies of favorite color scheme. Terror against this miserable mirrors, cases past lacerations. Feel the power shifting.
so that's sounding good there. Now let's work on the vocals, the clean vocals. What do we have our main set to? Negative 11.7. Use that as a starting point. So obviously that's not a good starting point, so we're gonna have to go with manually doing this. All right, so now we'll bring in the doubles.
And I'm listening for your every whisper to answer the.
So we'll copy it, negative 15.2. Alrighty, so let's see now. And then we have a left and a right here. Again, we'll bring those in. And then we have harmonies left and right as well. So bring those in. Okay, so now we just move these all to their buses. So I bus everything together. So Scream 1 is going to go with all of the dubs that are also corresponding to that. So we'll go Scream 1. And then this will be Scream 2. And then the same for vocals. All right, good. So now that they're in there, now we can start processing these vocals. Okay, so for what I want to do here and how I want to actually automate my vocals at the end, we're going to add another one of these. So we're going to duplicate that track there and we're going to cut it here. And then that appears to be all. Okay, so we have to make a track just for this. So make sure that points to where we need it to be. Clean 1, good. Now I have a preset that I made specifically for vocals. So I'll go under and grab it. It's nice to make templates because then you can easily recall presets you've made and mix songs much quicker. Like how slow this is taking me to do this, I could have had this done in a quarter of the time that it's taking me because I don't normally just make my own stuff. I'll just pull up templates and run with that. So let's see. So for Scream 1 now, we'll mute all of these here. Pretty much when you get one done, you can just copy it over. We're going to DS these screams. Now we'll limit them a bit. So we might have to work with the de-esser a little bit. So let's check out the screams now. so you get the idea. Now I'm going to add reverb and delay to these screams here. Like usual, I'm using H delay and reverb. H delay stereo, quarter note, ping pong, and then anything waves, turn off analog because it just makes it sound like balls. So there's that. And then we'll pull up reverb with another Mike Hedges preset, Sweet Vocal Plate. Sounds awesome. So let's solo this and get a basic mix going.
Carvings visions into rare sound, 'cause when you're striving, there's not a better way to live.
All right, so let's see how that sounds.
Carvings visions into rare sound, 'cause when you're striving, there's not a better way to live. It's out upon the earth across the sea, painting your legacies of vivid color scheme. Terror against this miserable mirrors, cases, restorations. Feel the power shifting, yielding our transformation.
All right, so that's sounding cool. Now, a good way to keep your processing down, your CPU processing, and your RAM free and stuff, for all the vocals, all the guitars, anything like that, it's going to be using delay or reverb. Make one bus and then just transfer everything over, and you can just mix it in as you need it. So let's try these now.
Horizons are where my dreams have long called home. Enslaved in my weakness, no furthermore.
All right, so that is pretty all right. We can mix with those a little bit more, but let's see.
Cause I've settled to cut from the circuit of my own resentment. I'm building back from where I started as gravity loses hold upon our newfound path.
All right, so they have a delay and reverb, and again, we will open up my preset that I use for vocals. We'll go off of Clean 2 so that we could, there's actually more tracks in Clean 2, so we'll go off of that because it's gonna have a little bit more of the sound.
Cause I've settled to cut from the circuit of my own resentment. I'm building back from where I started as gravity loses hold upon our newfound path.
Now you don't wanna go too hard with the de-esser because it's gonna make your vocals sound like they have a lisp. So now we'll transfer this. Well, let me limit first.
Cause I've settled to cut from the circuit of my own resentment. I'm building back from where I started as gravity loses hold upon our newfound path.
I like how that sounds, so I'll transfer this over to the harmony track as well. We're gonna have to probably limit the harmony track.
Gravity loses hold upon our newfound path. Newfound path.
All right, so for harmonies, I don't like to put delay on there. Maybe a little bit more reverb than usual.
Hold upon our newfound path.
So you might be wondering what I'm doing here for processing. I don't know why I didn't show you that, but that would be my first EQ. So it's basically all it's doing, it's cutting out any unwanted frequencies. And then this one's boosting, getting a little bit of air, a little bit more in about 1.7K range. Then I have max bass on there, which is going to be bringing out more of the low end of the vocal. And then a de-esser to finish off the chain there. Well, there's a de-esser first, and then after all the processing, and then just a limiter to keep the peaks under control. So let's see how that all sounds now.
Horizons are where my dreams have long gone home. Enslaved in my weakness, no furthermore. 'Cause I settled to cut from the circuit of my
These still have a little bit more of the sound that I'd like, so let's try and eliminate that a bit. I'll go with the second one in the chain. That's better. All right, so now let's listen with all the vocals here. All right, so those are sounding pretty good. We could start actually mixing stuff now. First thing I would like to do, though, is automate all the vocals. So what I'll do here, send all these to a bus, and we'll call it mix. Now, I'm sending everything except for the vocals. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll open up Scream 1 here, and then the last thing in the chain, I'm gonna put Waves Vocal Writer. So now what this is, I'll just show you, I'll play it. So find some vocals here. So here we go. Now watch this, okay? All right, so what this is doing, it's going to be automating the vocals up and down depending on where I have the target set. So I like to set it to fast, and then we're going to have to sidechain this. But first, what we're going to do is have to set the target volume. All right, so that'll work there. So, and then in Ascend on our mix, you're gonna go to side chains, and you're gonna see Vocal Writer Stereo, Scream 1 is on there. So now what that's gonna do, you're gonna see this light up green, meaning that it's getting the music sent to it. Okay, so we'll add an automation track, and then we'll add a parameter. So we're gonna go to Scream Main 1, inserts, and then Vocal Writer Stereo, and you're gonna go Rider Fader. You're gonna add that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do here, we're gonna play through every single one of these tracks. Okay, so everything that's on Scream 1 in that bus is gonna be automated. Click that to right, and then right, and it turned that to right. So now that should technically be automating all of this. So here we go. All right, so there is our first round of automation. You zoom in, you can see all of these volume changes. Now this would take you hours to do normally, to do the entire track, everything. So this is like a lifesaver. Okay, so now that's done. So we've changed everything to read. So now all of the screams on Scream 1 are automated. We got all of the screams automated. So now we can close that. Now we can add another automation track here for the clean vocals. Okay, so these are all automated now. Now we can go and set the levels.
Dreams of long gold.
And there we go. All the vocals are done, automated, processed, and everything. So now let's take a little listen and see what everything sounds like as one main mix. And that about does it for today's video. Hope you guys are learning stuff from this series. I really enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun for me. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. All links will be in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.